Welcome, everybody, to
the Cel Cast.
Yes, this is real music. Dark, brooding, important, groundbreaking. Check out the lyrics. Darkness.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cel Cast. With me tonight is your host. He's really wanting to build a spaceship, Jacob.
Well, thank you very much. I'd love to introduce our co-host, who, kind of like Unikitty, has to think happy thoughts. Welcome, Drew.
Well, thanks a lot. Oh, Jiminy Crickets. Even though, no, he's not in this movie. So yeah, how are you been doing this week, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing good. Just busy. Just life is complicated sometimes, but you take it one day at a time. That's all you can.
Would you say that song playing incessantly helps? Or do you know what song I'm referring to? You ought to. We heard it 4 times at least.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah. Does that song help or hinder you when you're this busy?
No. Sometimes it's, it kind of picks you up and says, okay, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool.
My problem is I've heard the song to the point where it's like, everything is awesome when you're part of a team.
Yeah.
90% of the time, my work, I'm sure I'm a part of the team, but I'm really early on in the process, and I'm not really working with anybody. Yeah, they're working off of me. So, yeah, everything's okay when you're at the beginning of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're the first guy and you're the only one doing work at the moment on this project.
Oh, those are fun. Those are fun moments.
So, yeah. What have you been watching this week, Jacob?
Man, I've been watching. I got the chance to watch Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, I remember watching this movie quite a few years ago, and I was like, man, I love the animation in it. Mm-hmm. I love the animation. It's a great film. It's a great film. It's based after, obviously, the Street Fighter series. I'm not a quote-unquote gamer. I really, really enjoy games.
Yeah.
And someone who grew up watching people play Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all those games, is like, ooh, I really want to watch this. Be like, who's this character? Who's this character? It's like, oh, okay, now who this is. But it's enjoyable. It was an enjoyable film.
Coming as someone who has played enough of the Street Fighter games to know when characters show up, I know it probably had Ryu and Ken.
Yes.
Who else did it have? What were the other characters?
I know Blanca was in it.
Okay, so yeah, we are talking Street Fighter 2, not one of the other ones.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2.
Okay. Because technically, Ryu and Ken are the only characters that we know in the first Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
But the first Street Fighter game was not that popular.
Yeah.
Especially over here.
Yeah, you get M. Bison, who's just this menacing, huge character. It's like, oh my gosh, how the world they defeat him? Mm-hmm. You have to watch and see. And plus, Zangief's there.
Well, of course, who else is going to smash man's head between his thighs like a Sparrow's egg? I'm saying this wrong. It's been a while since I've watched Ralph.
But the odd thing in the dub of this movie, he doesn't speak with a Russian accent. He's like, huh? Be like,
did they not know he was Russian?
Apparently not.
How do you not know? When you hit his thing, it says USSR. It's like, where else is that?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the USSR is the
United Soviet Socialist Republics.
Yeah, which we now
know as Russia. It's what Russia was before the wall fell.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I think and I also got to watch recently. I'm not going through it right now. But I'm watching Alita Battle Angel, the anime. And
because we both I've at least seen the live action. You're watching it in preparation for the live action.
Yeah, I'm watching preparation, and plus the animation. Now, granted, I'm an animation nut. Hint, while we're doing animation.
And who in this room is not? Just being honest here, Amy, but we
both there, in the corner!
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
Reichs, get out of here! They're crazy, man!
How did they get in here?
Set the traps.
Anyway. Oh, me.
Oh, snarf, snarf, snarf.
So you're watching Battle Angel Alita?
Yes, I'm watching Battle Angel Alita.
Admittedly, that is a bit of a tongue twister.
Yes, it is. It's a great film. Apparently, when they were doing it, they weren't, because it's based off of a manga.
Yeah.
They did
it's based off of Gum In, I believe is the name of the manga.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a weird name.
Yeah. And so, apparently they plotted for a 2-episode OVA, which an OVA stands for
Original Video Animation.
Thank you. And that's all they were going to do.
It's essentially Japanese for straight to DVD release, or straight to home video release.
Yes. And the story is somewhat confusing a little bit.
I can tell you this from having seen the live action movie.
Yeah.
I have, and I'm saying this because I swear it feels like, having not seen the OVA.
Okay.
It kind of feels like they were trying to match the OVA point for point.
Okay.
Or at least they are adapting that more than they were the manga.
Yeah.
It felt like it was about 4 story arcs that would normally take a full anime season crammed into 2 hours. So I'm assuming this is the same but crammed into 2 episodes.
Could be. The one thing I kind of noticed, because a lot when an anime is being dubbed over here in the States, there's a lot of grunting. There's so much grunting in this because when you first meet
don't get me lying on any name besides Alita. I'm sorry. Yeah. I've only watched the live action movie once, and I don't know characters' names yet.
Okay, well, my question was, what is our main character's name in the movie?
The girl, you mean?
Yeah,
Alita. Yeah, we know at some point she was called 99.
Oh, okay.
But we never, at least in the live action movie, never heard her name other than Alita, because she never got her memory back fully from that time.
Well, in the anime, she's called Gally.
Gally?
Gally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently the guy who found her and rebuilt her called her Gally. So,
whereas in this one, he called her Alita.
Yeah. Who knows, right?
Anyways,
so yeah, I watched it via YouTube, and I know this is going to be kind of the legality. It's like, well, when do you buy it? Well,
probably not. You're probably not able to find it anywhere because who knows who owns the rights to it now.
Yeah, and plus it's out of print.
Well, someone could bring it back into print, but if they were going to do that, you'd think they'd done it before the live action movie was
thought
released.
They would have.
But it could be that nobody knows who has the rights, and probably the original, since it's an OVA, it could be the original masters were lost a long time ago.
That could be true.
Which is very common for old Japanese OVAs.
Yes. For someone to be like, I've watched before and rewatching it again, totally recommend it if you are going to go watch Alita Battle Angel. It's definitely worth a watch. Go check it on YouTube.
And I will say, as a live-action recommendation, go watch Alita Battle Angel. It is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I enjoyed it 100%, but at the same time, I knew nothing going into it. So it's one of those where I'm fairly certain when I watch it the second or third time, which I'm fairly certain I'm going to because the action was that good. I'm not going to... My hang-ups from the first viewing are going to go away.
Okay.
But it's a fun movie.
Okay.
I wasn't disappointed, at the very least. I just was confused.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because like I said, it feels like they crammed 4 story arcs into 2 hours.
That can happen.
Yeah.
So, what have you been watching?
Well, besides Alita, I was able to go watch the sequel to the movie we're reviewing tonight.
Oh.
I got to go see Lego Movie Part 2.
Oh.
Or, sorry, the Lego Movie, the second part. Or is it the Lego Movie 2, the second part? Anyway, I thought it was enjoyable. If you, for some reason, haven't watched the first movie, what are you doing listening to this podcast before we completely spoil it? Because I guarantee you I'm spoiling the end of this movie in the first couple minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I think the movie doesn't make sense until you do.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion. But definitely go watch the first Lego movie before you see Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Yeah.
Because it picks up right after this movie ends.
Yeah. I actually had a mother we both know from church had messaged me via Messenger on Facebook and saying, hey, do we need to watch Lego 1 before we go watch the Lego Movie 2? And obviously, yes, go watch it.
It's only 2 hours. It's not going to take that long.
No, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Honestly, if you watch it out of order, you're going to ruin the first movie.
Yeah.
I personally think. But
I would think so.
Yeah. So, besides that, I got a chance to go back and watch an anime that I had just recently gotten a retaste of a couple weeks ago when we met at our friend's house to watch for that anime night.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought that anime, School Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
And we watched the first episode.
Yeah.
It had been years since I saw it, but watching that one episode put a hunger in me. But I had some stuff to catch up on first before I could get to it. I finally got to it this week.
Good.
I watched about 7 episodes, and I'm remembering what it is I love about this show. I should explain what it is. It is a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Written by a guy, which does change the outlook on things.
Yeah.
It means it's actually funny.
Okay.
It's not just sentimental and sweet. There is sentimentality and sweet, but it's usually ruined a couple seconds later by something else that happens. But in most of the cases, you have in romantic comedies, you sometimes end up with a love triangle.
Oh, of course.
Or sometimes a love square.
Mm-hmm. Those are always interesting.
Or if they're going to get really crazy, a love hexagon.
Or just a harem.
Harem. That's when it becomes a harem.
It becomes a harem.
This is a love tesseract.
A tesseract? So it's the Mind Stone. No.
Space Stone.
Space Stone, yes. Thank you.
But mostly I'm trying to say it's a fourth dimensional object.
Okay.
It's only the Space Stone in Marvel. The word Tesseract came before that.
I know.
But anyway, I'll put it this way. The hero of our tale, and I'm convinced this guy is actually the hero, even though he is the protagonist, is a guy by the name of Harima. He is in love with a young girl named Tenma.
Okay.
Tenma is in love with another guy named Karasuma.
Oh, fun.
Karasuma only loves curry. The food.
The food?
The food, curry.
Oh, fun.
He has no feelings for love or any feelings at all from what we can tell about anything else. But at the same time, you've got all these other love things that people who are in love with other... Because this is all happening in a school.
Yeah.
Hormones are raging, but this is rated for kids to actually watch. So nothing of that nature happens, although they hint that it could any minute now.
So it's not School Days.
I don't know what School Days is.
It's an anime. It sounds very similar to that, because apparently the lead guy... He's, like, crushing for this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so he finally gets with her, and that's great. And they apparently have sex.
Yeah, this doesn't get that far.
Yeah, this goes where, he's like, I don't like her. Be like, I'm not really into her anymore. So he cheats on her, and cheats on her with all these other girls. And then, by the end of the series, he winds up getting stabbed to death.
Yeah, that's not what this is.
Yeah. Stabby.
No death occurs in this show. It is almost borderline ridiculous, the kind of stuff that happens.
Oh, okay.
As a example, at the end of one of the episodes, it's raining. Tenma realizes if she holds back, maybe her and Karasuma can walk underneath her umbrella in the rain like a romantic couple would.
Yeah.
Well, he comes up, says, "Hey," she says, "Hey, Karasuma, did you forget your umbrella? We can walk under mine." He says, "No, I brought my rain costume." First off, rain costume's an odd term.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what it meant, but they quickly show it's essentially a poncho.
Oh, okay.
But the joke doesn't work if you say poncho. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I like to think of it as it's an intentionally weird term for poncho. It's really how it's kind of, that's what it's supposed to be, because she thinks she comes to the realization because she hears another couple talking about how, we've both got umbrellas, but we can walk on, we can still share one for fun because it's what romantic couples do. So she realizes, we can still do that even if he's wearing his rain costume. So she turns around, say, "Hey, Karasuma, we can just walk under my umbrella for fun," and he's standing there dressed as a water imp. Now, I don't know, essentially, specifically in Japanese culture, a kappa.
Okay.
If you don't know what that is, they are, according to ancient Japanese mysticism, what causes things, what causes it to rain over there.
Oh, okay.
And they're generally friendly creatures, but it is related to old Japanese mysticism.
I gotcha.
And then probably some person's going to hear this and go say, you don't know what a kappa is, you ignorant American. Probably. But I'm just going based on what I understand. But he's standing there dressed as one of these water imps.
Yeah.
And it just sits on that for a couple seconds because you can tell she doesn't know what to do. He has no emotion. And he's just standing there. And it's like that for 30 seconds.
Okay.
30 awkward seconds for everybody watching.
Okay.
Finally says, well, bye. And he walks off and she goes, and you can tell she's thinking something.
Yeah.
Can't tell what she's thinking. Finally she says, oh, he is so adorable. He goes, oh, you idiotic girl. But that's why I love you. That's why I want to see this adventure continue.
Okay.
So yeah, that is one of my favorite shows and I've been watching it.
Okay. I want to make one disclaimer about going and watching the anime version of Alita Battle Angel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly family friendly because there is I think 1 or 2 sex scenes. There is a nudity scene. There is harsh language, and there is excessive violence that gets very bloody.
Yeah.
So
and I will say for School Rumble, there are a couple times where while they don't actually do anything, it's kind of alluded to. If left unchecked, it might go to something, but the comedy never allows it to happen.
Oh, okay. So there's the kind of like
at some point
alluding to
like they always talk about, well, maybe I can steal a kiss while she's asleep.
Yeah,
and it's like, I know what you're saying, but the fact that you're called a pervert immediately after kind of tells me what you're actually saying.
Yes.
I mean, in this flashback scene, she's in 7th grade, and you are also in 7th grade. What are you doing? You're underage. You're gonna get kicked. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. So, what's in the news?
Well, we had a trailer release.
Yeah.
For a movie that is a sequel to a movie we've already reviewed.
Really?
So yeah, this hit quicker than I think either one of us realized.
Yeah, I was shocked when this came out.
I knew it was in production, especially after the end of Wreck-It Ralph 2 with the trailer tease.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was funny.
That was not actually a trailer tease, but it was funny
but it was
anyway.
so funny anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
but we're talking about the Frozen 2 teaser trailer released. I'm actually incredibly interested in where this one's going.
Yeah, I am too.
This looks like we're actually doing a full-on adventure, like we might be traveling.
Yeah.
How the queen and the princess, the 2 leading people of the country, are allowed to leave the country is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious how they're going to work that out, but that could be a minor point.
Yeah, do they get teleported? Or do they travel there?
Considering at the beginning of this teaser, we see Elsa trying to freeze parts of the ocean so she can run across it.
Yeah.
I'm curious where she thinks she's going to go. I bet you she wishes Moana was there to give her a hand.
Probably. Yeah, by the way...
She knows how to get past that breaker.
Oh, yeah. By the way, spoilers for the teaser trailer for Frozen 2, if you have not watched it yet.
Go watch it. Why are you listening? Why have you... Anyway. So, the only other thing I'm acutely aware of news-wise was they announced the release date for Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse on Blu-ray and on digital, which is actually next month. Yeah. A lot faster than I was expecting. I was expecting we wouldn't get that until May.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very surprised when I saw that same news. It's like, oh, it's coming out next month. So this is sweet.
This might end up on the episode on the show faster than we expected it
to. Yeah, you never know. The one thing that kind of threw me, because being a very young child from the 80s, growing into the 90s, I remember when Jurassic Park first came out. Mm-hmm. And, because this was the era of the VHS. Yeah. It took 1.5 years for Jurassic Park to come out on VHS. So now that you have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse being released 3 months later?
Well,
that is astonishing.
It is astonishing, but when you stop and think about it, the fact that it still takes 3 months is ridiculous.
Yeah.
In my mind, the way as quick as this process has to be, going from digital to it's digital, nearly the entire process is digital now. I mean, there's still some people who film on film.
Yeah,
for stylistic purposes, but that's transferred to digital before it goes to theaters because it's distributed in most theaters digitally now. I mean, admittedly, this is coming from someone not in the industry, not knowing what headaches come to this, but I can't think of a technical reason myself why you shouldn't. So, in my mind, the only reason it's still taking 3 months is just for marketing.
Yeah. I think for, kind of the marketing, that same vein is where they want to get as maximum profit as they can in the theaters and then come out with digitally and then they come out with the press version of it.
But here's another little interesting thing. There's another third bit of news that I just remembered.
Okay.
Samsung announced within the last week that they are stopping Blu-ray production for the United States.
What?
They're not making Blu-ray players for the United States. At least right now they're saying they're not.
Yeah.
Probably they're going to come up. They may come up with something later, but right now they've pretty much said we're not selling Blu-ray players in the United States anymore.
Huh.
This might be the first signs of the physical media going away. That could be good and that could be bad.
Yeah, definitely for those kind of like me who like a physical copy of a film.
Yeah.
They're like, I love having a digital copy of a movie.
Well,
don't get me wrong, if I can go on the mode and watch it anywhere. But for someone who absolutely just loves the physical copy of a film, that's a headache.
Well, and here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we've talked about enjoying, some of the stuff we own on Blu-ray and DVD, some of that is currently out of print.
Yeah.
Some of it, nobody knows who owns the rights to anymore.
Right.
Especially some of this anime that I own.
Yeah.
If at some point, while I still have the DVDs and the DVDs are still working and they're preserved, I can watch those anytime I want, no issue.
Yeah.
Legally. The thing is with digital, you don't own anything.
Exactly.
If you buy it on Amazon, despite the fact you're paying, $15, $20 for it?
Yeah.
Or $25 for a whole season, like I did this morning on something. You don't really own that. You are just pretty much renting it as long as they let you, as long as they allow you to watch it. If they decide to pull it, you're SOL.
Yeah, you're out of luck.
Yeah, so that's what I have. That's what I'm not happy against, and I think one of the downsides that's going to run into this, we may have an uptick in piracy of just people wanting to have their own version that's not beholden to who's paying Amazon this month.
I agree. There was one bit of news that I did remember seeing at one point where DC is coming out with a Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes, that actually looks interesting.
It does, because I think this is based off a comic book series that they've done in the past.
There was a comic book series that was done, I think, back in the late 90s.
Yeah, they've done recently as well.
I think this was also sometime after... I'm thinking wrong, sorry. But yeah, and they did one more recently, too, like you said.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, my
but honestly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman is not the goofiest matchup I've heard.
No, it's not.
Would you like to know the goofiest matchup I've heard?
What would that be?
The old Archie series.
Okay.
Not the new one, but the classic one.
Yeah.
And the Punisher.
The Punisher?
The Punisher.
Okay.
The Punisher goes to Riverdale.
Oh, fun.
It's been I didn't read it. I watched, I think it was Linkara's Atop the Fourth Wall video review on it.
Okay.
Which he can be a little... Well, he tries to be clean, but, take that with a word of caution if you're going to look that up.
Yeah.
But
Glass reflection.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what was happening, but I remember something. There was something to do with a flying cow head. That's all I remember.
Okay.
It was, from what I could tell, it was a weird issue.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, just... There again, be like going with Turtles, because my brother Jim is a huge Turtles fan. Mm-hmm. He's always has been. He's the guy who goes to a Comic-Con just to go see Eastman, one of the creators, to go get a signed comic from him. And I think I don't know if Jim has seen this, but I'm pretty sure by the time this is put out, I guarantee he's going to read that or watch it. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get that. Because he's got a nerd out beyond belief, because it's Turtles and Batman.
Why not?
Yeah. And plus, one of my favorite comic artists of recent, he's an Australian artist who did the kind of a mashup between the Teenage Mutant Turtles that was on Nickelodeon before Rise of the Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah. And Batman, the animated series.
Okay.
Took that same style, and it is so much fun.
It is actually a very similar art style.
Yeah, it is very similar.
Although I think, wasn't the Turtles 3D in that show?
Yeah, they were 3D.
Right, but I mean, the way they were created, they have a similar art style.
Yeah. Yeah, just the art style in that comic is just, oh man, I just love the artist. It's great.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a very fun movie, just whenever it comes out. I saw like the first still, and I was like, not exactly thrilled about how the turtles are drawn, but
it could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
And isn't it going to be on Netflix of all places?
I don't know.
It's just anyway. Well, oddly enough, this is a perfect segue into our movie this week.
Yeah,
because the movie this week is it does actually have Michelangelo in it. For a very short amount of time.
Very short time.
It does have Batman in it.
Yes.
And it has many other characters in it.
Yes, it does.
So I guess now we should move into our review for The Lego Movie.
Good morning, apartment. Ready to start the day. Jumping jacks, hit 'em. 1, 2, 3. I am so pumped up! Yes! Overpriced coffee.
That's $37.
Awesome!
Everything is awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love this song!
It's cool when we're part of the team. Everything is awesome.
No! Guys, wait up! Where am I?
Come with me if you want to not die.
What is happening?
You're the special, and the prophecy states that you're the most important person in the universe. That's you, right?
Yes. That's me.
Relax, everybody. I'm here.
Batman? Awesome!
Who are you here to see?
I'm here to see your butt.
Oh my gosh!
Pow. Wham. First try.
My fellow master builders.
Hello!
Lord business plans to end the world as we know it. There is yet one hope. The special has arisen.
I know what you're thinking. He is the least qualified person to lead us. And you are right.
A house divided against itself would be better than this.
Abraham Lincoln! I'm not the special. I'm just a regular, normal guy.
You have the ability to be the special because I believe in you.
Robots, destroy him!
Aloha, loser!
We'll wing it. That's a bat pun.
Take him to the melding chamber.
Isn't there supposed to also be a good cop?
Hi, buddy. Would you like a glass of water?
Yeah, actually.
Too bad.
We are entering your mind.
What?
I don't think he's ever had an original thought.
That's not true. Introducing the double-decker couch. So everyone could watch TV together and be buddies.
That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Let me handle this. That idea is just the worst.
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it.
So, with this movie being Legos, the first thing I want to say is, like, everything is bricks and everything is gloriously awesome.
Yes.
The fact that this is...
It's so awesome they sing a song about it 4 times.
Yes, they did! They did! kind of going with the childhood memories of playing with Legos. I think all of us, as growing as children, it doesn't matter if you're my generation, the generation before, or the newest generation. You're going to play with Legos. Everybody's done it. So I was wondering, what is your...
I want to be nice to the Lego company. I feel like I need to correct you on one little thing.
Okay.
They're not called Legos.
Okay.
They are called Lego bricks.
Okay.
Lego is the name of the company.
Technical.
I'm just being nice because they'll correct you in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because technically the first Legos, if you don't see my quotation marks with my claw hands, yeah, weren't the bricks we know.
Okay.
They were wooden toys.
That makes sense.
Because do you know what the word Lego means?
I can't remember. What is it?
If I remember correctly, is it Scandinavian?
German.
Anyway, it's a combination. It's based on the word legot, which means play well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The guy who made this, whose name I can't remember right now.
Yeah,
I apologize.
It's German or Austrian. I can't remember which.
It's somewhere over there in the Germanic countries.
Yes.
He was making toys. It was just like your standard little wooden toys and stuff like that. Eventually, they spread out and started making other little toys that would have been popular during that era. Mm-hmm. And in fact, there was at one point where a shipment of their toys going from their original country over. They were shipping north of England on a boat. The boat sank, and there are still those plastic toys washing up on Scottish shores to this day.
I remember hearing about that.
So yeah, there are Legos showing up in Britain to this day from that long ago.
That is
hysterical. But the bricks were not made, I believe, until like the 30s and 40s when they first showed up. And do you know who first released the Lego brick system here in the United States?
No, I don't.
Samsonite.
Samsonite
of all people. They were the people who had the mold machines over here.
So they were trying to make the double decker.
Well, they
couch.
They had the machines, so they were producing the bricks over there. Well, eventually Lego took it back all in house.
Yeah,
as they were expanding. But so yeah, that's where Legos came from.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the 90s when I had Legos, I had one of those big sets that had, just the random pieces.
Yeah.
The big, I think it was the 500 brick set.
Yeah.
And of course, who knows how many of those Lego sets were given to me over the years.
Yeah.
But I kind of had a little bit of a love affair with Legos up until, even to this day. Because I do own a double-decker couch. Because when I saw this movie the first time, it's like, when that Lego set is released, I'm buying it.
And you apparently
did. I did buy it. I didn't buy any of the other ones, but I have a partially finished Millennium Falcon.
I saw that.
I have a Saturn V rocket. It is about 4 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And it's sitting in my room.
Yeah.
If you fell on it, it would take an eye out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still play with Legos to this day, and I even got into the Lego Dimensions video game.
Really?
And had a bunch of those sets.
Yeah.
I have since torn them apart and threw them away I threw them back into my big pile of collection because I don't have that kind of room in my apartment anymore.
Understood.
But yeah, I definitely have a history with Legos.
I got you. Yeah, I think my history of Legos was obviously you get the little sets, what have you. But when we were younger, we would go over to my cousin Brian's house, and he had box away. He's kind of like a single child. Had a box of Legos, and we would just sit there for hours and hours and hours, just making adventures up. Yeah, kind of like
much like you see in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just dragons, damsels in distress, knights in shining armor. And just all kinds of great, wonderful adventures. And
in multicolored buildings.
Because
you never had all the brick colors you wanted.
No, you couldn't. Yeah, we don't work for Lego, so we don't have every brick we want.
Yes.
In more recent times, when they started releasing the sets for the Lego Movie 2, a friend of mine via Facebook, her daughter. Because apparently it was her first time ever getting a Lego set.
Oh, okay.
And so the mother posted her child playing with Legos for the first time. Mm-hmm. And first, she goes by the manual. Her and her dad are going through it.
Yeah.
Build the little set. And the next post is like, okay, such and such has, done her own thing. She's been creative.
It's the point.
Yeah, exactly.
That has always been the point of Legos. Admittedly, they sell them in the sets because it's easier to sell them in sets than the big boxes. People are more likely to buy a Star Wars Lego set than just a random Lego set. Yeah. And that makes sense to me. I understand that. But admittedly, there's nothing like when you're a kid and you're doing your best to build a house. Yeah. Just out of the Lego pieces you get. And of course, you never finish it to where it looks good. Yeah. Or at least if you're me, because I get impatient and get bored after I've built about half a wall if I don't have instructions to follow myself. So I never had a completed building that looked good.
I gotcha.
Oh, I also have a Lego race car.
Oh, fun.
And a couple years ago, I made Lego ornaments for my family.
Oh, okay.
For my grandma, I got her, or one of my grandmothers, I gave her a little cap. Mm-hmm. Another grandma, I gave a train engine in a tunnel kind of a deal. Cool. My mom got a race car, and my dad got an airplane.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of...
And I used my own version of the Craggle to do that.
Oh, fun.
Because otherwise they'll fall apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind of reminds me, a former pastor at the church we both go to, he is huge into Legos. He's more into the technical Legos, to where, you build mechanical working Lego cars.
Admittedly, the ones where you have those pieces where the stuff lifts up and moves around is cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To me. It's like, I can't believe they designed this. But, I understand how cool that is.
Yeah, because apparently Dr. Wood would just be like, it's like, I'm not a math major, but I just love the science of this thing. Be like, just nerds out about this.
Well, there was also apparently at one point, and I think you can still find this in some places, you can find programmable Legos. Or you can make a machine that has an engine in it that you can program to do certain things.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that, yeah.
I think they've discontinued it, and there are still people, I believe, on YouTube making little ball machines with the balls they don't make anymore.
Oh, okay.
Made out of Legos.
Oh, okay, very cool.
And that's not even getting to the point of Brickfilms, which is really what this movie is based on.
Yes, it is.
Which is just people really making stop-motion animated movies with Legos. And that's a lot of where this movie got its inspiration from.
Oh, I agree.
So, I want to, before we get into who's in it and everything, I wanted to touch on how they actually made this film. It's kind of cool. Lego, internally, and you can actually still download this program, they had a program that they used for this called Lego Digital Designer.
Okay.
Which essentially allows you in a computer to design Lego sets with a full selection of whatever brick you want to use. Has the entire catalog that all the Lego sets used over the years. And they would use that to build the sets and the characters and all the stuff. They would save those out as 3D files, load that into Maya, the standard 3D modeling program a lot of these companies use to produce the models for the movies and video games. Yeah. Add the little touches like, the artifacts are, of course, done in that. The little touches like Benny's broken helmet. Yeah. And the little fingerprints that you can see on some of the characters sometimes. Oh, especially on Emmet with the crazy glue. Oh, yeah. You can see fingerprints on him a lot of times throughout the movie. And they would use that to do touches, and then they would animate it just as normal. So they are literally animating with Lego bricks. Just digital Lego bricks.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible the detail they go into. Just the... Yeah. Like the ocean scene? Oh my gosh, it's like rolling Legos.
What I read was that their goal in making this movie is they wanted a person to be able to take any of the Lego scenes from this movie, I should say, and actually recreate it if you have the right Lego sets. You should be able to recreate anything you see in this movie in Lego.
Awesome.
Which they did a very good... There's only actually a couple points, and I noticed this when I was rewatching the movie this afternoon. There's a few points where the animation does stuff that the toys shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, I noticed
Mostly
that.
It's like little head movements, stuff that you need, they wanted to do for just to show emotion, the one I saw that really showed it was the when Green Lantern is stuck to the bubble gum that Superman's enclosed in, and you can see his head move back and forth. It shouldn't be able to do that on the toy, but so that for the most part, that's it. They respected it to that point, even to the point where at the very end, where President Business is watching some of the creations that people are building with his Lego sets. Mm-hmm. Those were actually real Legos.
Really?
Those were actually designs submitted by kids to appear in the movie.
Really?
And then all they had to do was shoot the film of it combining or coming together or something with just very basic rules. Essentially, it had to be two things that wouldn't normally go together combined together, like you see throughout that section of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, those were all that stuff on those video screens. Those were actual real Legos. And of course the stuff during the live action segments was real Legos. Every other Lego was a digital recreation of the actual Legos.
Wow.
Including camera effects.
Yeah, that's insane.
I didn't even realize it the first time I watched it, but that scene where the Batmobile is driving through Middle Zealand, there's a sentence I would not have been able to say 10 years ago. Or would even make sense. There's a point where they drive through a puddle and water, as it would have, splashes onto the camera, and you can actually see little Lego things slide down. It's like that, and it's only on screen for a second. It's like, okay, that is dedication.
Yes.
Y'all did not have to do that.
Yeah, that is definitely a passion project.
Yes. I guess we should actually get into who did all that, which was the animation company was a company. I don't know what else they've done. I need to look into it. It was an animation company called Animal Logic. It was released, of course, by Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Written and directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who Phil Lord went on to write, and I believe he had to write the original story and screenplay for Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yes.
He and Chris Miller wrote the original story for Lego Movie Part 2. Mm-hmm. And Lord and Miller were originally the directors for Solo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But because Lucasfilm was not happy with the movie they were getting from them, they got ousted, and Ron Howard came in and fixed and remade that movie. So,
yeah.
Admittedly, what we got was good in Solo. I am kind of curious what Lord and Miller's would have looked like.
Yeah, what their direction would have been.
That might have been interesting.
Cool.
The music was done by Mark Mothersbaugh. Do you know who he is?
No clue.
What if I told you he was a part of Devo back in the day?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He's one of the members of Devo. Emmet was played by Chris Pratt.
Yes.
Wildstyle was played by Elizabeth Banks.
Yes. Batman
was played by Will Arnett.
Mm-hmm.
Princess Unikitty was played by Alison Brie.
Yes.
Spaceman Benny was played by Charlie Day. Metalbeard was played by Nick Offerman. Vitruvius by Morgan Freeman. President Business and the Man Upstairs were played by Will Ferrell.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the amazing performance of Bad Cop and Good Cop by Liam Neeson. And the fact that I'm fairly convinced he must have done those one right after another in the same recording session. Because it's that quick.
Yeah, his performance in that movie was just uncanny. Just like, wow. I was like, wait a minute, that's Liam Neeson?
And he's also the voice of the father cop.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He also plays his father. It's someone else playing the mother, of course.
Yeah.
But although it would have been funny to hear him do
that would have been.
But so yeah, that is who was in this movie.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to spoil the twist at the end of this movie at the beginning, because really everything about this movie is explained by this. Yes. Every weird little inconsistency, logic jump, and everything. This movie is based on a kid's imagination.
Yes.
Playing with his father's Lego sets that technically he should not have been playing with. But when you're watching it with that knowledge,
yeah,
even stuff like the micromanagers makes sense, because you can see, a father and a son trying to play together, and the father's trying to do the specific thing, but the son's just going off doing whatever he wants for fun. So you can see micromanager going in and saying, no, it's got to be like this, it's got to be like this. I have a feeling that's based kind of on that. A lot of the stuff you hear, of course, Lord Business say, being voiced by Will Ferrell, who plays the father.
Yes.
is very much the kind of thing you would expect a father to be saying if he's focused on trying to do something.
Yeah.
And maybe is not very good at talking to his son.
Yeah. Yeah, I will have to say, like, Will Ferrell, I have never been a real fan of his stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, from Saturday Night Live into his own career.
Yeah.
I never really wasn't a fan because I'm not a fan of really just dumb comedy.
Yeah.
But his performance in this movie was absolutely very outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised. I was like, wow, that's Will Ferrell? That's impressive. It's not him being, wild and crazy and goofy.
Well, I mean, some of his wild and crazy and goofy comedy is in there. It's just done by other people.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I could see him starring in a show called Where's My Pants?
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's performance.
As Vitruvius. My favorite line of his was not supposed to be said.
Okay, what would that be?
When they're in the dog, I mean, and Emmett's about to give his speech.
Oh.
And Morgan Freeman says, "You're going to have to write all that down because I'm not going to remember any of it." For one thing, doesn't quite fit the scene.
No, it doesn't.
But do you know why that recording even exists?
No, I don't.
Lord and Miller, this is the first time Morgan Freeman was in an animated movie.
Oh, really?
Did not know that.
I did not know that.
This is the first time he's done voice acting. And he thought, when he was going into this performance, he was going to be in a room with a bunch of other people recording at the same time.
Oh, okay.
But he had his own recording session, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They were trying to get... Lord Miller had made an edit to the script, but it was not written down yet.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to get him to get Morgan Freeman to say this line. And he just spouted off, "Well, you're going to have to write that down because I'm not going to remember all this." And they loved that line so much. They worked it into the movie and did a lot of the marketing material.
Oh, wow.
Because it's in a lot of the trailers. In fact, it's probably in the one you heard before we got into this.
Probably.
And I believe it was in last week's teaser, too.
Mm-hmm. The one that automatically comes to mind when I hear Morgan Freeman in this movie. Now, great, I've only watched it once, but it was just, oh my gosh. It's like, he's coming. Cover your butt.
Yes. Cover the what? And then my other favorite line is, "I see everything." President Mrs. shoots him in the eye and goes, "Ow, my eye!" And then it gives the prophecy.
The prophecy.
That is made up.
That is made up.
And
I love that.
You know it's made up the minute you hear it because it's so generic. It could be anyone.
That is true. Oh, he's the special.
The special. The most interesting, most greatest person who ever lived. That's you, right? Sure.
And then that flows straight into Chris Pratt's character of
Emmet. Oh, man.
Emmett
I love Emmet.
Oh, yeah.
He's the hopeless optimist. He doesn't even realize people don't know who he is.
Yeah, he just as it says, it'd be like the ordinary Lego construction the ordinary Lego construction worker figure who is mistakenly identified as the special.
Yes.
The master builder who can only build a double-decker couch, but later unlocks his building potential.
Indeed. Here's the thing about Emmet. I absolutely love the character.
Yes.
He makes the third time Chris Pratt has appeared as a Lego minifigure.
Yes.
Because he's also in the Jurassic World and in the Marvel superhero one.
Yes. Star-Lord!
Yes, he is Star-Lord. And they actually play on both of those in Lego Movie Part 2.
Oh!
There's little references to that. I'm not going to get into that because we're not talking about that movie.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll see it when you go in there and watch that movie.
I'll definitely have to keep an eye for it.
But he is one of the most fun characters in there, and I love how he has absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But yet he's the most optimistic, and he's the one who's most convinced everything's going to turn out all right.
Yeah.
Despite the fact nothing should be turning out all right.
No!
Especially by the end of it.
Yeah, it's just by almost like luck and circumstances that because Emmet happened to do something stupid, something works.
Yes, exactly. Well, like Wildstyle says at the end, all his plans are stupid and mostly useless. But yeah, he's the one who got closest to actually beating this thing than anybody else did.
Yes.
Also, that you got, like I just said, you have Wildstyle, the character, real name Lucy.
Yes.
Who apparently is so insecure that she's changed her name about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I remember that.
And not to give too much away from Lego Movie Part 2, she dyed her hair.
Okay, that makes sense.
Just a little fun thing. And she may have had a connection to Emmet that's a little deeper than you would expect.
Okay.
Especially once you know what kind of music he likes.
Okay.
But she is probably one of the most fun characters in it because I love how angry she is at him during the Wild West sequence. The Old West sequence.
Yes.
Telling him all this stuff and he's not even really listening. And you hear his version of blah, 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 character stuff, backstory stuff. I'm really angry at you and you don't know why.
Oh, and then that kind of ties into the triangle of this romance.
Batman.
Batman. I'm dark and looming.
Yes. This is real music. Dark. Brooding.
I'm Batman.
I only work in black pieces, and sometimes very, very dark gray. Batman is Batman. There's really not any better way to describe that.
Yeah, he's Batman.
And ironically, this is the first time we've brought up Batman in a movie and on this podcast. Yes. Not even the real Batman. I mean, he is a real Batman. He's probably better than George Clooney was.
Oh, absolutely. But, yeah, Will Arnett does a better job
than George Clooney.
Yes.
He's the only... Him and Val Kilmer are the only two people I'll say he's definitely doing a better job than. I may fight you on anybody else. But, yeah, Will Arnett's Batman is probably one of the funniest ones. I especially like his performance later on in Lego Batman. Let's face it, this is another time where Liam Neeson and Batman go toe-to-toe.
Yes, they do!
The weird connections you see in this movie.
Yes, you do.
Shouldn't be connections. But they are.
It's a weird, interconnected universe.
Yes, and yet it's also not.
Yes, exactly.
So, from there you've got, I guess the next character that's actually introduced is Unikitty. Meow. A unicorn kitty who's suppressing rage.
Yes, exactly. She's, the entire time, she's like, oh, happy and joy, happy and joy.
There's no negative feelings, no mustaches, and no consistency. Because that's a lot of rules in a place that has no rules.
And she's a boiling, she's a tempest ready to roar.
Oh, yes, very much so. Like, what is this feeling? It's like the opposite of happy. I've got to think happy thoughts.
Happy thoughts.
Rainbows. Teddy bears. Cotton candy. Yeah, then... Yes.
I'm gonna get you.
Unikitty might be my favorite character. Because she's the kind of character I should hate. And yet I love her.
It's a very adorable character.
Yes.
Very, very adorable character.
And then Metalbeard.
Oh, Metalbeard. I love his backstory. I love it.
Yes.
The fact that he storms this place, he goes all the way, all his compatriots get obliterated, his body gets obliterated, he has to build a mechanized suit with a short gun.
When you have to fight lasers, and then sharks, and then laser sharks, you're lucky to be alive.
It's a freaking laser beam!
And admittedly, I did learn something from his character in this movie. I was unaware until I watched this movie that the first law of the sea is that you shouldn't put your butt on a pirate's face.
Oh, speaking of Metalbeard, his entire mechanical body is so amazing. And he has a shark for a cannon.
Yes.
And the first thing that brought to mind is like, okay, he has his shark cannon. There's no way on Earth he's gonna... Batman's...
Shark repellent bat spray.
Yes! Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work against this cannon.
Well, could that be the reason why that shark repellent bat spray is in Batman's in the Batcave in Lego Batman to keep Metalbeard away?
That could be it. That could be it. I never thought of that.
You kind of get the feeling they aren't really friends.
No, I don't think so.
And I have to say, since we are in that scene where Metalbeard is introduced,
yes,
this is the only movie in all of history that can get away with that line. Abraham Lincoln, come back here with your space chair.
Yes. Oh, gosh. So,
also with that scene, I want to point out another little interesting bit of trivia that the Lego movie happened to be the first movie to do.
Really? What's that?
First movie with Wonder Woman.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're right.
It is the first time she appeared in a theatrical film.
Ah, didn't know that.
The other time she has appeared was on TV and made for TV movies. Because the next time she appeared in film was in Wonder Woman.
That.
Well, actually, Batman versus Superman. But.
Yeah. Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, the first time the Invisible Jet appeared in the movies, too. Which, I have to say, that is my favorite joke.
Yes, that is.
He's like, everyone to the Batmobile. Dang it. Everyone to the Invisible Jet. And it just shoots to the same area where there's nothing there, and an explosion happens. She goes, dang it.
Probably one of my favorite scenes in the entire film is the Star Wars scene with the Millennium Falcon.
And what's more interesting is that's actually the first time Star Wars characters have appeared on a movie screen after Disney bought Star Wars.
Really?
My assumption is that the production of this movie must have already been ongoing.
Yeah.
And the characters' appearance must have already been licensed.
Yeah.
Before the buyout.
Oh, okay.
Because there were a couple things that was in production at Lucasfilm that still came out after that buyout too.
Okay. And
mostly a horrible animated fairy movie that I don't suggest we watch.
Okay. Yeah. Also, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO again.
And Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian.
That was mind-blowing. Oh my gosh, that's Lando! That's actual Lando!
And don't quote me on this, I think that was the original Chewie growls too.
That could be it.
The only one of those characters that's not the original actor is the Han Solo.
Yeah.
But still, how often can you see Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, and Batman take off in the Millennium Falcon?
It's like, sorry babe, I gotta go and hang out with my friends. I gotta, some guy time. Yeah. It's like, yeah, right? No, I don't get it. Yeah. Okay, bye.
And then Emmett's trying to comfort Wildstyle on Batman leaving, and he says, I've always thought Batman was the worst. He says, hey guys, I'm back. Well, I thought you were in this. Oh, no, it was all dudes. Even the hairy guy. He was all dudes. And the gold dude, all dudes. So I sold their hyperdrive and came back. Weren't they going to miss that? But, Chewie, we gotta engage the hyperdrive, we're gonna get out.
Oh, I love that. That was the perfect scene. It was like, that was the movie there just to watch that.
And when I watched that back in theaters, this was definitely a movie you should have saw in theaters.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was coming.
Oh.
There was no clue that was coming.
When I watched it.
I remember watching that, I'm thinking, okay, admittedly, the double-decker couch survived.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
They're on the ship. It's like, okay, you need a hyperdrive. It didn't even occur to me Star Wars would come up. And Batman says that line, oh yeah, like a spaceship's just going to appear right out of the sky, and then, da-da! It's like, and I'm in that movie theater, opening day, of course, going, they actually got the Millennium. Oh look, it's Billy D. Williams and Anthony Daniels doing the rocket. Like, this is happening. It was a great moment.
Oh, glorious. I was like, what in the world? This is so cool!
And honestly, that right there, I think, is this movie's magic.
Yes.
The story is slightly incoherent.
Oh, yeah.
Admittedly. What is happening on screen is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
But this entire movie, much like the song says, is awesome! And it taps into that inner 5-year-old who played with Legos.
Yes!
It does. All 4 of the Lego movies do that, in my opinion. Even if you don't know the story in some of these.
Yeah.
Because I honestly didn't keep up with Lego Ninjago, though I've meant to go back and watch the series since I saw the movie. But anyway, then we get storming the tower.
Oh, yes.
I love the fact that they actually brought Bruce Wayne into this because they had no reason to.
Yes. They were like,
Bruce Wayne? Who's that? Sounds like a cool guy. And you can just see Wildstyle over there face palming. It's like, you're not fooling anybody. And then you've got Unikitty with the suit stuff on there. And especially when later on when Batman leaves her with the robots to deal with them, and goes, business, numbers. Is this working? And the robot goes, yes. He says, yay! I just bust out laughing. It's like, why is this funny? This is stupid. but it's funny.
Oh, snarf.
Business.
Oh, gosh.
And plus, you gotta have, if you're gonna destroy the world, you might as well do it with tunes and surround sound. And let's face it, we've all had Benny's problem with voice-activated computers.
Yes.
Shut down system! Disable shield! I'm sorry, that movie is not available in your area. What movie? I said disable the shields! Let me try this. Be on disabling yon shield. Disabling shield. What? Oh yeah, we didn't get to Spaceman Benny.
Oh yeah.
He's another favorite character of mine.
I loved it how they kind of just did this throwback to an older type of Lego figure. And it's like...
And they were detailed enough to note that almost every version of that helmet has the piece broken at the bottom. And they put that in there. Wow. It was a weakness in the design, and it's very common when you find that helmet for it to be split like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh,
and apparently that was also a piece that Phil Lord had, I think, when he was a kid. So he really created that character based on his for his memories, for his own business, and then kept him in there.
Oh, that is awesome!
After the joke of 1980 something space guy.
That is so cool, man. Just there again, kind of sucks you back into being that kid.
Yeah,
you're just playing and having fun, and your imagination rolling.
There's coherency if you dig far enough.
Yeah.
But on the surface, it is weird and confusing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's glorious weird and confusing. So, where was I going? And then, of course, you've got the blind guy being Lookout.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, I can see it. Right? Like, I can see him.
He's staring at the wall through binoculars. Just like, okay, keeping a lookout. Okay.
That'll work.
Because what Emmett's plan is to sneak them in there.
Yeah.
By following the instructions, which is not what they're good at.
Yeah.
So he knows that President Business is not going to be looking for that. He's going to be looking for weird stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to build that other spaceship in the first place. And once again had to tell Benny, no, we're not building that spaceship.
He's like, oh, darn it, smash!
Yeah. You're really letting the air out of my tank, guys. Lucy and Emmet. I'll just go ahead and start calling her Lucy because that's how I think of her at this point in the movie. They're sneaking in, trying to carry the speakers in that Bruce Wayne convinced President Business to get.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With foil all over them to be robots. And saying, what is wrong with your voice? It sounds a lot like a human voice. Give me a break. I've only been a robot this is the first time I've had a robot voice. What do you mean this is the first time you've had a robot voice? You've been a robot forever. Who are you two people? Everything is awesome. All right, this is my jam. And they all start singing it, and she's, man, I hate this song. And they all turn on like, it's like, how dare you hate this song? And she starts singing in a very amusing voice. Everything is awesome. I'm not doing a good job of it. But obviously she knows the song, even though she hates it. Which I guess, how would you not?
Yeah, it's so catchy.
But I will point out, if you've seen the Lego Movie Part 2, there's a reason she knows the song.
Oh, okay. We'll have to learn that when we come to it.
I'm just throwing that out there just because it's on my mind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Trying not to spoil anything, but it's kind of thrown under there if you wouldn't catch it. But anywho.
Gotcha.
Benny, at this entire time, is having a hard time getting, as we know, getting the shield to disable. And just in the nick of time, after Wildstyle beats up the dudes in the control room.
Yes.
They're able to unget the shield, and I guess we should actually say what they're trying to do, because we've never talked about why he's the special.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't
really bring that up, that he's the one who found the piece of resistance to the Craggle. What is the Craggle, Jacob?
Crazy glue!
Yes! It's among such other artifacts as the Orb of Titalis. I got some of these written down, because they were amazing. Hang on. The Fleece-Crested Scepter of Q-Tip, and the Polish Remover of Nail.
Oh, yeah, that totally reminds me. He's
and the Cloak of Ben Daid.
So, yeah,
I think the first time and there's actually another artifact they don't give the name of, but it's the one Vitruvius is carrying around, that stick with the dum-dum edge at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't realize that's what it was until I was watching it like the second time.
Yeah.
And I realized, wait a minute, that's a chewed up pop, a Tootsie Roll pop.
I didn't think about that.
But that's what that is. It's
really?
That can be. I mean, in the actual Lego set, it's just a regular staff, but when you look at it in the movie, that's not a Lego piece.
No, it's not. Thinking about it now, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, the artifacts that they come with are just things that affect the Lego universe that are not Legos. Mm-hmm. Like giant golf balls.
Oh yeah, just boom!
Yeah. And the Craggle is there specifically from the man upstairs, who's... the artifact will destroy the world as they know it on Taco Tuesday. And why is it called Taco Tuesday? Because Lord Business's device to freeze everyone is an acronym for, I don't remember the whole thing. Anyway, it's an acronym that comes out to tacos, but the S is silent.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
the K is Craggle. I don't remember what the rest of it is.
Yeah, something. Taco.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a funny joke.
Yeah,
but the movie is so good. It's hard really to go into all the other good stuff.
There's so much detail in the film.
In the film, and it all comes to a head at the very end. They all get captured.
Yeah.
Lord Business has everyone else in the think tank to be forced to make designs for him for all eternity. But he hates Emmet so much that he's tied him to a battery and is going to shock and kill everybody. This is after they've killed Vitruvius, by the way. And and I love that part. It's like, I've got to tell you something about the prophecy. It will change your whole life. And then he's dead. Yeah. Doesn't get the chance to say.
And then he comes back as a ghost.
He comes back as a ghost. Hanging from
a wire.
Not just wire. It is actually floss.
Yeah, okay.
He's hanging from floss. And it's a glow in the dark ghost because he's glowing.
He's just floating.
But yeah, they're gonna shock and kill everybody in 100 Mississippi. Lord Business apparently never studied any other villain in history to know you don't do that. That's how Batman escapes.
Every time.
Except Batman didn't escape on this one. It was actually Emmet, who actually was able to get the battery out before it shocked and killed everybody.
Yeah.
And he falls into the abyss and unknown, and you would think that means he's dead.
Yeah, you would think so.
You'd think. But then that's when the twist happens. Mm-hmm. He wakes up on the floor of the basement.
In the real world.
In the real world, where a little kid is playing with everybody, and he's you see this entire thing, every little strange, weird, and inconsistency that threw me off the first time I watched it, admittedly. I love the movie when I first watched it, but I thought this movie's got some real problems when I first watched it, until that scene. Mm-hmm. It's like, that explains everything.
It's one of those films where you're like, you don't be like, oh, in the middle of the film, I'm going to drop it. You got to watch it to the very end.
The very end, it's like, oh my word, that's what this is going on. And then it's like, is this, and he sees the kid, goes, is this the man? And just as he says the man, Will Ferrell walks down into the basement, and you go, holy crap!
It's Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell is the man upstairs. And he's the voice of President Business. They're supposed to be the same character because this is all in the boy's imagination. Holy crap! This movie has a lot of thought in it that it didn't seem to have 15 minutes ago. Oh my!
And literally, the movie, the essence of this movie boils down to a relationship between a father and son.
And it's you don't see that coming.
No, you don't.
You do see in the flashback when he first touches the piece of resistance.
Yeah, you see a little flash.
You do see a short flash of the kid.
Yeah,
but you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. It goes by so fast. If you weren't looking for it, I don't think you'd see it. I don't think I saw it when I first saw the movie.
Yeah,
but
like when I first saw the movie, I was like, "Wait, hold on! I think I've got the story figured out already."
Yeah,
And so when I was, watching this, and it's okay, I'm just like, and then he goes into the real world, and it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense now.
But
this
there's
is revelation.
I do have to point out one mistake the movie made, though, when they switched to the real world.
Okay.
Throughout the movie, you see a plastic scene, going straight down Emmett's hair.
Okay.
That scene's not on the Lego piece in the real
Oh,
world.
I didn't see that.
It is on the Lego piece on the close-up when he's falls underneath the desk.
Yeah.
But on the rest of the scenes, when you see him, it's a solid piece with no seam.
Huh.
His hair is. It's a minor thing. It really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Because, his texture doesn't look exactly right in the live-action scenes either.
Okay.
But, because it's a lot, it looks like really looks like they took it straight out of the mold. Because it's a little more brighter than I think any Lego pieces I ever had were.
Okay.
But, there was that.
Yeah.
And interesting thing, of course, he sees the cat poster that says "to believe."
Oh,
and then the little mouth move, quoting Vitruvius. I know it sounds like a cat poster, but it's true. And I remember laughing my butt off when I saw that the first time. It's like, you just went the cheapest way to do this, and it works. But then the kid goes to put him back in the world and sends him through that cardboard tube full of Lego pieces with the words, what's it say on the side of it? Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
It says Magic Portal, which at first glance, you would think that's just, okay, that's what it is. It says Magic Portal, get back into the world. And in essence, that's what it's referring to. That's not all it's referring to.
Okay.
It's actually a shout out to one of the very first Brickfilms called Magic Portal.
Really?
That is what, because the guy who made Magic Portal went on for a time to work at Animal Logic.
Okay.
On a lot of their stuff, and he actually left Animal Logic before the Lego movie started production. But as a tribute, they decided to call that one, they put Magic Portal on the side of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And plus, it's also kind of a bit of payback because apparently Lego sued him over that. That Brickfilm. One of the few times they ever did something like that. Because it was early on, ownership rights, who actually owns the stuff to Lego. Yeah. It's a brick system. And interestingly enough, the copyright on the actual system for the Legos is gone out. It's public domain now. But anyway, that's why Mega Bloks can connect up to Legos. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, so basically Lego was trying to, squash imagination.
Well, no, that wasn't what it is. It's just they were trying to protect their trademark and their copyright. And now they don't care because they don't actually own the copyright to the system anymore. Or not to the original Lego brick system. Yeah. A lot of their newer pieces, like the Technic system, and I think even the Duplo system, they still own the rights to. Yeah. But it should be noted that all those systems are designed to interconnect. If you didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
You can actually connect a Lego brick up to a Duplo.
I didn't know that.
I've not done it. I've just read you could do it, and I've looked at the underpiece of a Duplo and saw, it's got it doesn't hold it very good. Yeah. But it does hold it.
Okay. I do remember that. Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
But that's still also my favorite joke at the end of this movie. But we've pretty much exhausted, I think, what we can talk about.
I think
on a podcast on this movie.
Yeah, there's one other thing I remember.
Go ahead. I've kind of driven this conversation because I love this movie so much. I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem. Not a problem.
I get the feeling I talk too much in this show.
No, it's
Don't give you enough time to talk.
No, it's all right. The one thing that one of the key points of this movie that I found the very end of this movie, that it's about pure creativity, pure imagination, and not being restricted to, the instructions. To be like, everybody is quote unquote special. That you have this ability to create. Because even when Emmet, when he first starts, he has basically no imagination whatsoever. All except for his double-decker couch.
Which was just to fix a problem he saw.
Yeah, that's it. But now, ever since the very end of the movie, he starts to see things. And I think it's their goal in the movie is to literally tell kids, and just let your imagination flow. Be a kid. And telling us adults, just be a kid. Enjoy, have fun. Don't follow the rules like you're supposed to in some ways.
Can I point out something cool that I did not see until the viewing I saw today.
Okay.
Of all the worlds you see during this movie, which one does not fit? Which one is really, when you think about these worlds originally being built by the man upstairs, not the kid.
Oh.
Which one doesn't fit? Because one of the worlds doesn't fit.
I don't know. What?
Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Oh, that
because it's completely odd and crazy and weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is true.
They say that throughout the movie. When I was watching it, and Will Ferrell says, well, "You've got your Legos over there by the Christmas decorations."
Uh-huh.
And the camera switches over there, and you see all his Legos over there. A, they are set up like Cloud Cuckoo Land, and B, they're sitting on a box that says Cloud Brothers Moving.
Oh!
So it's like, I now know where they got the name Cloud. It's like kind of wondered about that.
That makes sense. Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't notice that until this time, and I just remembered it. So
okay.
I just wanted to bring that up.
All right. Awesome.
Well, I guess we should, while we're remembering to do it this time, say if this is a family-friendly movie. So what do you think?
My thoughts, yes. Definitely, it's an enjoyable, funny, hysterical film that anyone, I mean, like any age is going to enjoy this film. If you're the toddler to the 88-year-old, you're going to have a blast with this film. So yes, definitely highly recommend it as a family-friendly movie.
I will say it is also. It is a movie I can't imagine some kids not liking, or really anyone not liking, but I know that some people who are, it may not flow with everybody. I'll grant that much, but honestly, I love this movie. On a 10-point scale, I'd rate it a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I'm docking here in terms of a rating is the fact that it ends.
Yeah,
it ends quickly.
Yeah,
but it is a good setup for the sequel too. So
yeah, I would definitely give it definitely a good solid 9.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a good solid 9. Now, if I remember correctly, we didn't do the exact same thing with our last movie.
Yeah, that is the thing. We will have to put an addendum for the last episode on this one, because we forgot to, because admittedly it was the second time through it, we forgot to say whether on Tangled we thought it was family-friendly or give our ratings for it. So, yeah, Tangled is a very family-friendly movie. I suggest going on watching it.
Yes. Same here. Tangled is absolutely amazing film. It's one of my favorite animation Disney films of all time. So, yes, definitely go watch it. It's a 10 in my book.
Yes. Saying it's 9.9. I'm wanting to be very careful with what I give a full straight out 10 to. Okay. Simply because nothing's exactly perfect. Yeah. I know a movie that might be a 10 coming up, but
okay.
We hadn't made it there yet.
Okay.
So, we have reached the end of another podcast, and it's time to pick our next movie to review for next week. To remind everybody once again what movies are on our possibilities. On number 1, we have Anastasia.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders. Number 3, Transformers the movie. Number 4, our new one for this week, Big Hero 6.
Yes.
Number 5, How to Train Your Dragon. And number 6, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. And because we got to do my movie this week, Jacob, for the first time in the show, gets to roll. So, have at it. And it's a 5, How to Train Your Dragon.
Woohoo!
And this is the best week for it, considering it's in theaters this Friday, as of this recording.
Yes! So, next time we're recording How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes. I've got to watch both movies before I go see the third one, so this is a perfect timing.
Good deal.
Okay, so that just leaves our sign-outs. You can find us, you can email us at the Cel Cast podcast at gmail.com. That is the Cel Cast with 1 L, not 2.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and then of course you can have our Facebook group. Just search for the Cel Cast. It is a closed group, meaning you'll have to ask to come in, and if we like the look of your name, I guess we'll let you in.
Yeah. And also you can also find us on your favorite podcast directory, which we are currently on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Google Play. Please like and subscribe where you listen to us.
Well, and definitely give us reviews.
Yes, definitely.
Because reviews are actually what help us the most.
Yeah.
The more reviews we have, the more likely we are to show up on their lists that promote it, to help promote us in their directory itself.
Yeah.
So,
and plus we stars above 5, if you can.
Yes. We will be your best friends if you do that. Being best friends doesn't actually mean anything, but
So where can our audience find us personally?
Well, I can be found on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. Look me up there. And eventually, I'm going to have I'm going to put some photographs up on DeviantArt finally, so that people can actually see my creative outlets online.
Oh, okay.
If I ever get around to doing it.
Oh, okay. That's understandable. You can find me at Jacob B. Heron on Facebook. And also you can like my personal art page at Jacob's Daily Art Corner, where I try to draw every day. I don't get to do that every day, but I try every day to draw.
Understandable. And I guess that's it for us this week. So this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Cel Cast.
I'll get you next time.
Like Swix, man. Like, we gotta get out of here right now. Right, everybody. Right.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when we're living our dream. No need to rock the
Next time on
The Cel Cast.
In 2010, the creators of Shrek, Madagascar, and Kung Fu Panda invite you to hold on for the 3D ride of a lifetime. DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon. Training begins 2010 in 3D.